Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario.
In part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
You're listening to the HREBA show, Home Ownership, hear it from the experts in the Blue Stream of the Fishbowl Radio Network. I'm your host, Salvador Villalobos. Today we are fortunate to have as our special guest Susie Ortega Dalkey.
Yes.
She is an agent at JSD Insurance Agency and a past president of HREBA. Welcome, Susie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sal.
You're welcome. As a quick reminder, the 2019 4th Annual City of Arlington Home Ownership Fair will be this Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Today we're discussing the importance of home ownership for successful and sustainable home ownership. Hi, Susie.
Hey, Sal.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been in the insurance industry now for about 9 years. I first started out in El Paso, Texas, I want to say about 14 years ago.
Okay.
I was an agent for State Farm out there. And then when I moved here, I just decided to be an independent. So now I've been doing it now for another 6 years.
Oh, great. So what is an independent?
Well, an independent agent is one that you kind of work for yourself. You get appointments from different companies, so you get contracts for them to sell their insurance products. Versus a captive agent, like let's say State Farm or Farmers or Allstate. Those are captive agencies.
Okay, great. So, what is homeowner insurance, and how does it benefit a homeowner?
Well, homeowners insurance is just key to anybody that owns a home, even if they've got it paid off, even if they've paid off their mortgage. It benefits them in so many ways because with so many natural disasters happening, you want to make sure that you're always going to have a roof over your head in case, the wind takes down your roof or
Right.
hail damages it and you've got all this water coming in your house. You want to be able to protect that because, coming out of pocket for your, out of your own funds can be costly
Okay.
for those repairs.
So, what repairs? I mean, you're saying roof damage, right?
Well, it could just be anything. Like I said, it could be all kinds of natural disaster. It could be also intentional. So it could be fire, and all of these are just things that you have to watch out for when you get a homeowner's insurance because not all of them are going to cover against these perils, what we call perils in the insurance industry. They're natural disasters. So, a good example would be like a hail. We've been seeing a lot of hail
Right.
in North Texas.
So you have hail damage. You said fire,
Fire.
wind damage.
Wind damage is also has been pretty evident here with a lot of trees falling on homes, causing sustainable damage. So you want to make sure that you know what coverage you have, and especially on roofs. If you have a replacement coverage on your roof versus an actual cash value.
Okay. An actual replacement or cash value? What? I'm not familiar with the terms.
Well, that's a good question. So the replacement is going to replace your roof with the like, kind, and quality. Okay. So if you paid for a roof and you put a roof on your house today, and it costs you $15,000, and next year we have a hail damage, and you have replacement costs, they're going to replace that roof with the same kind of quality.
Okay.
Versus an actual cash policy where, let's say they sold you an actual cash value policy, and it's going to be a lot less, and as far as yearly premium. But when it comes to replacing that roof, they're not going to replace it with the like, kind, and quality. They're going to depreciate it. So versus, let's say, your roof to replace would be $15,000, but you only have an actual cash value policy. Now your roof's really only worth $7,500. Okay, and then of course after that you're going to have a deductible. So always make sure you have replacement cost on your roof.
Replacement costs. So you get like quality material.
Yes, like, kind, and quality. It will not be depreciated.
Okay. And to get that done, those repairs, can you contact your compadre to come over and put the roof on for you, or do you have to get an actual roofer to come in, or do you contract the roofer as an insurance company?
Well, every insurance company will go out there and they'll do their own assessment.
Okay.
Okay. They will give you an estimate of what they think it will cost to replace your home.
All right.
They're going to take into consideration your deductible. So, for example, if you have a $200,000 home and your deductible is 1%, you're going to have to pay that $2,000. Okay. So let's say your roof is going to cost $10,000. Well, now they're going to hand you a check for $8,000 because $2,000 is your deductible. They pretty much do not. Depends on the company. They don't really interfere of who does your repairs.
Okay.
Okay. You will have to have them done. If there is a supplement, you will have to show from the contractor or whoever's doing it where those repairs are needed. What supplements, or why are you stating that this is needed? And then most companies, they will take a look at that and see if it's warranted.
So what is a supplement? I understand that there's a replacement cost and they'll give you the money to repair the roof, but you use the word supplement.
Well, supplement, for example, let's say let's say it was a roof, but let's say they missed maybe some part of the chimney.
Oh,
Or
okay.
let's say
Like
there
the
was
flashing?
maybe some flashings or some material that wasn't included, and the contractor, whoever's doing your work, comes back and says, no, this is needed, this is completely damaged. Well, at that point, they write a supplement up, and then
Okay.
the homeowner submits it to the insurance company, and then the claims adjuster will take a look at it from there
Okay.
and determine.
On the very off chance that the insurance company comes back and says, it wasn't quoted, we don't think it's important, but the roofer or the contractor is very adamant that, for longevity, for much more protection, it has to be included. What happens at that point?
Well, I always tell customers to make sure that they get at least 2 or even
Okay.
3 people, that they have it in writing.
Okay.
And usually, 2 or 3 people saying the same thing is not just one person saying
Right.
it. And then a lot of time, if that doesn't work, I always have them, talk to your agent, have your agent step in for you. And present all this paperwork. And, of course, if none of that works, there's always, of course, filing a complaint with the Texas Department of Insurance.
Okay. So is there a website or a phone number that you know of for that department?
TDI has
Okay.
their own, it's the TDI.gov, the Texas
Okay.
Department of Insurance.
Okay.
On their website, they have the various numbers
Okay.
for filing complaints and
Or
so
getting
forth.
more information?
Yes.
Okay. So you said contact your agent. So you just don't write the offer or the policy and then that's it? You still have something more to do after you're writing the policy? Is there
Yeah.
much more to your responsibilities
yes.
or your duties?
Yes, and that's with every agent.
Okay.
We have a fiduciary duty for our customers as well as for the companies that we represent. But we do have a duty to those consumers to be there, be their advocate, be their liaison, to be able to deal with the insurance companies. I mean, a lot of times it just might be a communication problem where they, maybe we don't have a fax, maybe they don't have an email to get all these documents in.
Great.
So
So you're there for them through and through.
through it all. Yeah.
All right, good. So we said the perils: fire, wind, hail. Now, what about if somebody falls on your property? Is there a policy that covers that within the homeowner's insurance? Or are you on your own? Whether it be somebody that lives there or somebody that's visiting, somebody that's walking in front of your home.
Right. And that does happen a lot. There is a policy just like we have in our car insurance, our liability. We have that same coverage in a homeowner's policy. So with that scenario that you gave, if you have someone come in and they accidentally fall because you left Junior's,
Legos.
car toy, yeah, and now they have a broken ankle. Well, it has liability in case they decide to sue you, but, let's say that they were just really friendly and they didn't want to sue you, but, they needed medical attention.
Okay.
That homeowner's policy also has medical payments to those people.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so I always tell people, always check to see what kind of coverage you have on your liability and your medical payments.
Okay.
Because the difference in the minimum that most insurance companies offer and getting a higher limit is really insignificant. We're talking maybe $9, $10, $12 a year.
Oh,
Yes. So for
and
a dollar a month, you could have better coverage.
So what is better coverage? Is that like 5,000, 500? I know it's not. It's
Right. The majority of the companies, the max on the medical could be 5,000. It just kind of depends on the insurance company, but
Okay, good.
the majority is 5,000 on medical.
okay.
The liability can go all the way to 500, sometimes $1 million. Just depends on the company.
All right. Good. So peril, accidental tripping, or
Right.
now let's say theft. Is there any policies regarding theft or that cover against theft? And what is theft?
Okay. Well, a theft could be, and most people think of theft. They came and they burglarized or they took something from my home.
Right.
if you have your golf clubs in your car and you have homeowners insurance, that they would be covered as well.
Oh.
Okay, under your
Right.
homeowners insurance.
Wait,
Okay.
the golf clubs in your car are
Yes.
covered.
Yes.
Oh.
So a lot of people don't think that. So, that's why I always tell the consumers, always check with your agent. Always go down each section of your policy
Okay.
to see what personal things are covered. Because when we talked about that roof being replacement,
Yes.
okay, in your personal property, it's a little different. You also have a choice if you want to replace your personal property at replacement value or actual cash. Okay? And again, to have the replacement on your personal property, it's not really going to make a whole bunch of difference as far as premium.
Okay.
Okay?
So I have a 65-inch. I wish, if my wife's listening, I want the 65-inch TV. So if I had a 65-inch TV and it was taken from the home and I have the replacement coverage, they will replace that 65-inch TV with something similar to?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I always tell people, make sure that when you buy big ticket items like that,
Yes.
make sure you take a picture or video of the serial number, your receipts. Always upload them into a safe place. Email them to yourself.
Okay.
Some place where they're going to be safe, then you can easily retrieve them.
Okay. So it covers some of your home electronics, jewelry, artifacts, your baseball collection.
Yeah, no, those most policies, okay, in Texas, do have a limit on jewelry.
Okay.
And any type of like firearms, okay, or collections. If it's something very valuable, and what I mean by value, something over $2,000-$3,000 to you, because that could be valuable to you, right?
Exactly.
You have to schedule it separately, and what
Okay.
we call a personal articles floater.
Okay.
And that's a totally different policy from your homeowner's insurance.
So that just covers that one particular item.
That one particular item for what it's valued at.
Okay.
So a ring, you'd have to have a ring appraisal to
Okay.
tell you how much that ring is valued at and how much you want to insure it for.
All right. And that's a separate policy.
That's a separate policy. And a lot of people think that they're very expensive. It's not. It's still affordable, because when you look at terms of replacing a $10,000 ring versus maybe getting a policy that costs $200 a year,
right.
okay, because that's how inexpensive it can be.
Of course. Right.
You want to get that policy.
Right. I lost my ring.
Oh, yeah.
I took a glove off and it went flying and I never found it. So, but it wasn't a diamond ring.
Okay.
So a question regarding how about personal identity, because that's another hot topic now. There's a lot of personal identity theft or
Yes.
identity theft. Is that covered within your homeowner's insurance policy?
Most companies do offer personal identity theft. And again, you have to check with your agent and
Okay.
compare. If you're comparing, make sure that that it is on there, because some of these policies, they start off as basic and you can start adding.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Endorsements?
Yeah, so start adding those endorsements,
Right.
and those endorsements, like the identity theft, they really don't cost as much.
Okay.
But they're there, and they're even there in our renters policy. So somebody that's renting an apartment or a home, very inexpensive to have and great coverage. Identity theft.
Wow. Let's talk about renters insurance as well and the benefits of that.
Okay.
You're listening to the HREBA show again. Hear it from the experts on the radio, on the Fishbowl Radio Network in the Blue Stream. Give us a call. We are taking calls. Phone number is 214-431-5062. Again, 214-431-5062. And we'll catch you on the other side of this commercial.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Hey, Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the REBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair.
Programming for the REBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the REBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso.
Programming for the REBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hello, you're listening to the REBA show. Hear it from the experts in the Blue Stream of the Fishbowl Radio Network. Didn't butcher that one up this time. I am here with our special guest today, Susie Ortega-Dalkey, an agent at JSD Insurance Agency. I am your host, Salvador Villalobos. Susie's also one of the past presidents at REBA, the organization that is that the REBA show is part of. A quick reminder, the 2019 4th Annual City of Arlington Homeownership Fair will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. This Saturday, August 10th, from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Today we're discussing the importance of homeowners insurance and the importance of and its importance with sustainable homeownership. If you have any questions or would like to be part of the discussion today, please give us a call at 214-431-5062. Susie, on the other side of the break, we were discussing homeownership,
Right.
the different coverages that it does offer. premiums? How are premiums determined? You're saying, I know that you said regarding certain endorsements, but what else?
Well, the premiums, every company, again, has their own rates. Okay, they each have to file with the state if they're going to have an increase or a decrease. But for the most part, on homeowners insurance rates, they're calculated based on the age of the home, the square footage, whether you have a 1-story or a 2-story. Okay. If you have that pool or don't have a pool in your home. And then, of course, what we see again, what I've been talking about is hail here in North Texas. So a lot of premiums are already being affected by those losses. So insurance companies have to recoup some of that money, and they increase your premiums. Okay, every year.
Now, if you have a detached garage, is that under the same policy? Is it a different policy? Is your insurance premium higher because it's detached?
No, that's still in the same policy. That would be just what we call other structures. So anything that's not the actual home, whether that's your fence or a carport or a detached garage, that would be other structures, and those would be covered as well.
Pole barn?
Yes.
Okay.
So anything that's not attached to the home, that's also covered.
Good. How about pools? Does that add to your premium because you have a pool, or not really?
Yes, it does, in the sense that it's kind of rated in there because it asks a question. And so what a lot of companies do is either they exclude that liability of that pool. They'll say, okay, we'll cover you, but we won't cover anything that goes wrong with the pool as far as any claims. So if somebody drowns, somebody got hurt while playing around in the pool, falls in the pool, they're going to exclude all that type of liability.
What if there's a crack in the pool?
No, that's more of a maintenance type thing that as a homeowner, you take care of.
Okay.
But you have to check with the companies because, like I said, some will exclude that, and some will say, well, if you have a diving board, we can't write the insurance.
Okay.
Or some will say, if you have a slide, we're not going to be able to write it. If you remove those things, then we will insure the liability part of that.
So when you're essentially, if you do have a pool and you're shopping around for insurance, ask that question.
Ask.
Okay.
And just let them know, because, sooner or later with technology, they can look into your house, through Google Earth. And so just disclose it.
Right.
That's always good to know, because you don't want to find out later that you didn't have coverage for that.
All right. Now, let's say that my coverage right now is $200,000.
Okay.
Years go by, and the house has to be rebuilt. But now it costs $215,000. Do they only rebuild it up to $200,000? Does it only cover $200,000, or say it costs now more to rebuild a similar structure or replacement? How does that work?
Well, that's a real good question. I always tell all the consumers, when you're getting a policy, make sure that not only is the house covered for what you bought it for, but maybe a little more, because if you're not going to add, like, remember talking about the added coverage?
Right.
There's an added coverage that's called extended replacement.
Okay.
So let's say you're going back to that $200,000 and all you had was $200,000, and now it's going to, totally burned, and now it's going to cost, $220 to rebuild it. If you didn't have the added extended replacement, you're not going to get more than the $200,000.
Okay.
So.
But now let's say you have a mortgage. Is your lender's going to require that it be rebuilt to its original?
Yes, the lender's always going to want to be protected. So always, again, make sure that you review every year your dwelling amount. Make sure that you're covered adequately. Have those yearly visits with your agent. When most people do it at renewal time, and just check with them. Say, hey, are we going to have our annual review so we could check to see if I'm adequately covered?
Well, I've never gotten a call from my agent to say, hey, it's time to do a checkup on your insurance.
Okay.
So it'd be pretty surprising if something were to happen and I wasn't covered for the full amount. Then I have to come out of pocket.
Right.
And if I don't have those funds, then
then you're either going to have to build a smaller home, right?
But then it can impact my lender's my loan at that point, because now it's not.
Right. Yeah. As the lender wants to make sure that they're always going to be protected.
Right.
So if they see that you don't have replacement coverage or there's not adequate replacement, they're going to either force it upon you, or if if you let it lapse for some reason, maybe your agent didn't come to you and say, "Hey, Sal, your policy is about to renew. This is what we can offer you." If they didn't do that and your policy lapsed, the lender's going to find out.
All right.
And that lender's going to force coverage on you.
That's not a good word.
Well, it's never a good word when you don't have choices. You
Right.
won't have a choice as to what you want, what you can get.
Right. So from what I'm hearing here is they're not calling just to upsell you something. Your agents are actually calling because they want to make sure that you're adequately protected.
Yeah.
Or your dwelling is actually protected.
I think a lot of agents out there do that.
Right.
They want to be able to visit with their customers and just let them know. And like I said, if that's not happening, as a consumer, we have to be proactive and
Right.
just get on the phone with them and say, "Hey,
Before I write this check.
Yes, yes. Before I okay this that you're sending me, will I be covered in case, or how much am I going to be covered in case of a total replacement?"
Right. Most of us have annual physical checkups, but we never have that annual financial checkup with our service providers, which I think it's key that we make them aware of that they should go and check.
Right. And that's true because, life happens and we have kids, and maybe our kids, when we got the home insurance, they were toddlers, but now they're teenagers. And, they're still teenagers, they're still minors, and we're still responsible for their actions. So as a responsible homeowner, we don't think we try to be a responsible homeowner, but sometimes we're just busy with life and we don't think, oh, I'm liable for what my child does. And so there's coverages, in your homeowner's policy. We're talking about that liability that is there in case something like that was to happen as well.
You have a trampoline and you're jumping and one decides to be funny and push them off.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, trampolines are, a lot of companies are not covering those just
right.
because of the damage.
Right.
But it could just be anything. Kids are going to be kids.
Right.
And there just could be accidents that can happen.
Right.
And you don't want to be sued and not have the proper protection.
Okay, good. Does that come? Because I had a situation this morning where one son pulled his friend actually pulled the tablet from him, and it's a brand new tablet, and it just completely shattered.
Right.
That would not be covered.
You mean the child that caused it?
Caused that accident.
Well,
Fell on the tile and just shattered it's not even a week old.
Yeah. If the parents were to really make an issue out of it, they could present a claim.
Okay.
How they would prove it, there has to be, like I said, the intent, and then there's different things that have to be proven. But
it's just something I thought of right now. It's like,
but yeah,
I'm not going to go forward with anything, but it was just, you brought it up, and I got the call this morning. Dad, that tablet's gone. Oh, nice. Yeah. It's coming out of your allowance for the next 10 years. Renter's insurance. Can you give us a little information regarding renter's insurance for our audience out there that aren't homeowners just yet?
Right. And that touches back into that liability that we were talking about right now when you were talking about that tablet and being liable for our actions. Renters, people seem to think that they don't need it because, they don't own the structure.
Right.
They don't really own that much furniture. I just have a couch that my aunt, Liz, gave me. And so they really feel like, I don't need it.
Right.
Or the apartment's not requiring me to have it, the complex. Those are okay. Those are valid reasons, but they're not good enough to protect you in case, again, of a liability. A really good example, I had some friends a couple of years ago, I know their dad, and the girls were moving out into their own apartment. They hadn't gotten any renter's insurance. It was out of state, and they decided to have some friends come over and help them move. Well, one of the guy friends was helping them move this couch, and it was a sleeper sofa, and it was just really heavy. and he dropped it. It actually dropped on his foot.
Oh, no.
But again, there was several of them, so
Right.
you know, it was all these people trying to move this couch, completely shattered his foot.
Oh, no.
Completely. They didn't have insurance.
All right.
They didn't have insurance, so he knew that, you know, dad owned a lot of properties. Well, guess what? He started
Oh.
suing the dad for his properties and for
Right.
all his bills, and you know, he'll never walk again, and you know, not walk again like he used to.
Right.
So, you know, it's just so important to get coverage for that, because you don't want to put yourself in that situation or your family in that situation.
Right, right. Now, does it also have the, you know, because you have roommates, you have people coming in and out usually, and does that also cover identity theft?
It is on the people that are on the policy. On
Okay.
renters, you got to make sure, you know, if there's two roommates, that you both get on there, because
Okay.
I'm sure you're going to both are going to have stuff, even if it's some stuff.
Right.
And again, you each are going to have people over.
All right. So it covers somebody gets hurt. It covers if something gets stolen.
Right.
It covers appliances.
On the
If
appliance,
they're not yours, say you brought your own appliances.
yeah, those will be covered if they're
Okay.
yours. Yes.
And okay, good. So
So anything that's attached to the structure, that's theirs. That's theirs. But then, you know, you're always going to have, you know, make sure that you have, you know, water damage. So if something happens, even if it wasn't your fault, and all
your
of a
neighbor
sudden,
upstairs is
yeah.
running the tub and forgets.
So yeah, so those are things that you can add as well. So a lot of people, they don't think that they need renter's insurance, but for how inexpensive it is,
All right.
I mean, it can be as low as $25, $30 a month.
Right, right. Now here's another question. It's not renters, but I believe similar. Correct me if I'm wrong. Condo insurance, an HO6 policy. You know, the general consensus is, well, you know what? I pay my homeowners association dues, and they say their insurance is in there, so I should be covered. What does the insurance in a homeowners association's monthly invoice cover, and what it doesn't cover?
So that's a good question. Most associations have like a master policy,
Okay.
and they're going to cover, of course, their structure, their units, the walls, the roof, and any common areas.
Okay.
Okay. But other than that, you want to get a condo insurance because it's similar to the renters.
Okay.
But you can certainly add more stuff to it. Like you said, if they're your appliances, if you might have some nice flooring that you put into your condo. So you want to make sure those things are covered.
All right. So let's say that you have a fire in the unit, and only in your unit, and the walls and the wiring is fried. Does it cover that, or is that part of the master policy?
You'd have to check with the master policy to make sure
Okay.
what things are included and excluded.
All right. Is it usually walls in, or?
On the
Does-
walls in it's your condo.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
but you want to make sure that on that master policy what's covered. Sometimes the condo will cover some of the wiring, but they might exclude if it was really old.
okay.
If it's aluminum wiring, they might not cover it. So always check.
Check.
Always ask. And that's what I tell them with any other policy, even on your homeowners. Ask, ask.
Now, what if you feel like you're not getting sufficient or adequate information from your agent? Where can a, besides shopping with another agent, where can a homeowner verify information?
You can, like I said, you could go to the TDI
Okay.
website, tdi.gov. There's a lot of helpful resources there for the consumers.
Okay.
Like I said, they list whenever any company is going to do a rate increase.
Okay.
They put it on there. And so it's good to check because, you know, if they tell you, well, you know, it's due to an increase, well, you go check and it's true.
Right.
It was due to an increase.
All right.
So
And what is what is that website again?
it's the tdi.gov website. I think.
TDI.gov.
TDI.gov.
Okay, great. Okay, we're going to go to break again. I am your host, Salvador Villalobos, with our special guest, Susie Ortega Dalkey. She
Okay.
is from JSD Insurance Agency. and also past president of the HREBA show. We will catch you on the other side of this break. Talk to you in a bit.
Thank you.
I got a new one for you. I like the way that sounds.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
I am Salvador Villalobos, your host today. We are fortunate to have our special guest, Susie Ortega Dalkey, an agent at JSD Insurance Agency and past president of HREBA. A quick reminder, the 2019 4th Annual City of Arlington Home Ownership Fair will be this Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. at Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. There's going to be a lot of great information being shared for homeowners, as well as kid-friendly, family-friendly events, giveaways, some great food. So make sure that you make it. So register on their website.
I was there last year.
You were there last year?
It was very, very informing. I mean, there was so many resources out there for people that are looking to find out about home ownership that whoever can make it, I mean, make it a deal to go out there and do it.
Fantastic. So you heard it from Susie. She was there last year, and she found it extremely. Well, that's my word right there, extremely. But that's what I think what you meant. Extremely educating and helpful. So Susie, what does homeownership mean to you?
Well, I was thinking about that when you asked me earlier, and mine goes way back. Growing up in El Paso, I grew up in a 2-bedroom house with 5 sisters. And I had always dreamed of becoming a homeowner, and I always pictured, what's my home going to look like? And I always thought, that was so far-fetched, when you're small and you don't have a job. And as I got older and I became a consumer, I sought out resources. And when I got married, it was a process. We didn't buy right away. We rented for a while because we wanted to make sure that we were going to be staying in the location we were at, that we were going to be able to make that mortgage payment every month. So you have to just seek out the resources. Make sure.
HREBA?
Yes, like HREBA. When I was growing up, I never heard of down payment assistance, right? And now there's so many resources out there that people should do it. And like I said, just do your homework, seek out these resources, make sure that you go over your budget, that you're financially able to pay these mortgage payments and your ongoing bills. And so it takes time. It takes sitting down with someone that can help you and just guide you in the right direction.
So that you learn, so that you're working to live and not working to pay a mortgage.
Exactly. And work to those goals and to those dreams that you have. Because, once you find a home that you want to be able to stay in it and not have to uproot your family.
That's tough when you have to uproot them and change them from a certain lifestyle. Although that's not bad sometimes,
Yeah.
Shake the nest a little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to downsize.
Right. So, it's all for the betterment of the kids. So with that brings us up to what we do at HREBA. Here at HREBA, at the HREBA Show, we bring you information about home ownership and how to successfully prepare for it. Because it's not just about buying it, it's about sustaining that home ownership, that home. HREBA also provides information that will help you to become more financially prepared. Our hopes here at HREBA is that you will engage us on the HREBA Show and become a loyal fan of your HREBA Show. Now, Susie, I know you told us of what homeownership means to you and how you're able to help your clients. If they want to get a hold of you, they can go to our resource list. You'll be on there, right?
Yes,
I
believe.
You and other insurance agents, as well as other real estate industry professionals.
Yes, that's what I love about HREBA is there's always someone there to help you with all this homeownership endeavor. There's so many different people that can help, whether it's a mortgage company, whether it's a bank, insurance. There's title people, realtors, and those people are there for you. Just pick up the phone and call them. It's not going to cost you anything to ask a question.
Right. And they can get this information on the website, right?
On the website, yes.
At
There's a resource list.
At HREBAconnect.org?
Yes.
All right. And HREBA is HREBA.
Yeah.
Don't contact HREBA McIntyre.
It'd be kind of hard to.
Here at the HREBA Show, we would like to acknowledge or remind everybody that the City of Arlington is holding their 4th annual homeownership fair on Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. at the Esports Stadium and Expo Center. For more information, you can visit their website or our website at HREBA Connect, HREBA Connect, CONNECT.org. We are the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association, a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. We've been streaming live on Facebook. You can also see this replay on the video, or the video on the HREBA Show Facebook page, and also on the YouTube channel where you can subscribe to future videos. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at HREBA Show. And again, that's HREBA Show, SHOW. This episode is available as a podcast on the HREBA Show page at FBRN.us. Again, that's FBRN.us. You can also find us on any podcast app. Oh, I'm running out of breath.
You're doing great.
Thank you. You can learn more. You can learn more about similar topics we have planned for upcoming shows on the HREBA website. Again, at HREBAconnect.org by clicking on the HREBA Show. If you would like to make a donation to continue funding this program and other community outreach efforts, visit HREBAconnect.org and click on the donate homepage. Again, Susie, thank you so much for being on our show, and especially at such short notice. I mean, true professionals, they're always willing to share, and thank you so much for that.
I'm happy to be here, and I hope that everybody learned something, because even I learn something every day. So
thank you. I learned a lot about insurance today. Thank you. Claire?
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA Show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de
to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hello, again, this is Salvador Villalobos. You are listening to The HREBA Show on the Facebook and the Fishbowl Radio Network. Again, our special guest is Susie Ortega Dalkey, agent at JSD Insurance Agency. Susie, to compare pricing or compare companies, what would somebody do, or how can they do that?
Well, there is a website that is provided by the state. It's opic.texas.gov. Again, that's opic.texas.gov. You can go on there and compare insurance companies. You just select the drop-down arrow, and you can select, let's say, Allstate versus an independent. And it'll give you a side-by-side comparison. It'll also tell you if you can add that coverage, if you can't. And that's a good place to start. But Sal, again, I stress that, you have to, if you can't sit face-to-face with your agent, over the phone, go line by line what your coverages have and what you don't have. Ask the question, do I have an all-risk policy? What kind of policy do I have? What's not included? What's excluded? And ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because that's your coverage, that's your home, and that's what you're providing and the legacy that you want to live for your children. So,
like they say, the more you know, right?
Exactly.
The more you know. So if you have any specific questions, again, contact your insurance agent. If you're looking for alternatives, you can, again, go to that one website that you told us, which is www.opic.texas.gov. Okay,
Right.
great. I memorized it.
Good.
I butcher everything else, but I memorized that. So, and if you have any questions, don't know where to go besides online, you can always visit the HREBA show. The HREBA Connect at the HREBA website. Look at our resource page. You will have access to many, many real estate professionals, insurance agents, title companies, loan officers, banks, attorneys, home warranty companies, and you have access to the entire list, and you can start calling around. Is that correct?
That's correct, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Great. Again, I'm Salvador Villalobos, your host. Thank you for listening. See you next week, Tuesday, from 2 to 3 on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Hey, this is